I got my eyes on you, and you postcard blue. I want your hot love and emotion endlessly. We can't get over you, and you postcard blue. I want your hot love and emotion endlessly. 'Cause you're
Welcome to another episode of Four Tims in a Podcast. It's currently just after 10 past 11 on Thursday the 12th of August, and we've just watched Celtic finish off the job against Jablonec by beating them 3-0 at Celtic Park. Darren, I'll start with you because out of the three of us that are on, you're the only one who's at Celtic Park. Just tell us how special it was to be back at Celtic Park tonight.
That was brilliant, mate. It's hard to put any words. Like, as we spoke about in the last episode, that was my first game since the St Mirren game in March 2020, and it was just a fantastic night. Just everything from parking where you usually park, walking up to the stadium, just seeing the crowds again. It was just fantastic in the turnstile, and then up to your seat and seeing people you hadn't seen in the best part of 18 months. It was really, really special, and a night that will live with me. Like, obviously, I sat in the north stand just next to the standing section, and the atmosphere was just brilliant. Like, I know we were playing as a European night, which is always special, but it felt like I saw the atmosphere you'd get against like PSG or Man United or that. It was just like everybody was just so delighted to have the first capacity game, and I know the main stand still had empty sections, but it was stunning. Andrew's team really stepped up, and but obviously we'd spoke about how we thought the job was all but basically done. We had a 4-2 win in the Czech Republic, but they just done a professional job, kept building. That's now in the space of 7 days, they've scored 13 goals, and they just look fantastic. Like, everybody played their part tonight. Like Joe Hart, like a few great saves, and it was probably one of the biggest cheers in the night when he made that second save. It's great to have a keeper sort of inspiring confidence again. I know he had a few issues with his kicking, which I think would have been punished against better opposition, but as we've often spoken about, he's there to keep the ball in the net. He kept a clean sheet. That'll do me. I thought the full defence was excellent. I thought Greg Taylor especially deserves a mention. I thought he was brilliant going forward as well. Obviously set up the first goal, but I feel like him and Ralston, like they attract a lot of critics, but they really look like they're really buying into what I'm just trying to do. I thought they two were really good, and the centre halves as well. I thought Starfelt, that was by far his best game. I thought he looked more and more confident as the game went on, and Stephen Welsh sort of showed why he shouldn't have been out the team at all. Never mind for a couple of games when Beaton was drafted in, because I think Welsh just looks fantastic. And it's just moving on. The midfield's just brilliant again. We spoke about something going right for Turnbull. Like, it attracted a wee bit of criticism, probably just because of the high standards they set last season. But to get 2 goals a night, that could just be the kick it needs to really get his season on the go. I know he had a few great assists in the last few games, but I just thought getting on the score sheet was brilliant for him, and getting the man of the match award. Tom Rogic just looks like he's obviously a player that Ange knows and Ange trusts, and the last few games he's rolling back the clock. He's the player you want when the ball's in tight areas, and I thought he was fantastic. And then Callum McGregor also in the middle. McGregor is just so good. Like, see, he's the perfect player to have as captain, because he really does embody everything that a Celtic team should be about. He's pressing, he's taking the ball deep, he's then leading attacks as well. It was a fantastic performance, and obviously, as I say, we're scoring a lot of goals. That's all credit to guys like Christie and Kyogo and James Forrest, who got on the score sheet as well. But Danny, I know I've sort of went on a bit there, but I thought it was just an absolutely fantastic night.
It was dead emotional watching it on the telly. I think just to hear the walk on at the start of the game, and when the team came out, it was a big roar. When the team got announced, or the tannoy, it was just brilliant. And Kyogo going through and goal after like 25 seconds, and really should have done a lot better. You know, that would have took roof half, I think, if he'd around the keeper scored. But I must admit, I mean, I thought it was a good performance for the team. I don't think there were any real danger. I think Jablonec created a few chances, but if you're going to play the way that Ange wants the team to play, they're going to gear up chances. We've now got a goalkeeper that looks like he can keep the ball at the net. 2 really good saves. I thought the second one, they were both kind of right at him, but his reactions for both of them were very good. But I must admit, and as much as I really enjoy watching Celtic, and I enjoyed watching it tonight, I thought we were just a wee bit off the night. I thought the final ball lacked pretty much the whole night. Some great approach play for the defence out to the midfield out to Christie and Rogic and Forrest and Turnbull. And Kyogo tried his best to join in at times. I didn't think they were rotten or rubbish. I just thought it was, well, you know, Sunday was 9 out of 10. The night was probably a 7. It could have been a lot better, of course, as well. I actually thought Kyogo was unlucky because he was onside when he scored in the first half. A terrific finish as well. But Tony, what a difference 10 days makes in football, because when Hearts beat us at Tynecastle, we were staring right down the barrel of another long season, and less than 2 weeks later it's all changed for the better.
Football is a crazy, crazy game. As we well know, we know how it feels for everything to be going well, and then something happens and the momentum switches just in an instance. I mean, it need to be kind of, I guess it's right to talk about the result for the other end of Glasgow, because it's all relative to the season. They've ballsed the Champions League. Now, we're the kings of doing that, and they seem to have watched us for 10 years make an arse and have done the same thing, which is quite incredible, whereby they didn't strengthen everything out, which is always a big blow at the start of a season. I think they would have been banking on the Champions League money. I think they probably should be beating teams like Malmo, and then whoever they would have got next, Olympic, I think it was Ludogorets actually. So they've lost 3 games in a week for the first time in probably a long while, and that changes things. That plants seeds of doubt. They've went for saying they've got 2 11s to win the league, and I've seen some tweets of them going they might struggle to win the league. So it's a crazy game, we well know that, and we've just kind of gone about our business. I said that we just needed to start winning games of football. It was as clear as that. We went to the Czech Republic last week. Yep, some sloppy defending, scored 4 goals. Good result, couldn't argue. Go again at the weekend. Your new signing gets a hat-trick in his home debut. The feel-good factors continued to build because they had lost it in the United, and then we went ahead of them in the league. Then on Tuesday, they looked dead set to be into the next round of the Champions League at half-time. Completely collapsed. Mistakes for their defence, when it usually is us making the silly mistake. They go out, and then tonight we put in a good performance, and Turnbull, as you say, is somebody who's been criticised. Can he fit the system? Of course he can. He's obviously taken a bit of time to adapt, but I think that there's been signs that the goal was coming for him, and I was delighted to get 2 tonight. And then Forrest got on the end of the shot for Edward, which was good as well. And we could have had more. Kyogo goes through after 20 seconds, and another day probably gets it round the keeper and scores. So a lot of encouraging signs. I mean, when Odsonne Edwards, your backup striker, that's a great position to be in. And we just seem to be improving every week and every game. Anthony Ralston, who have continually battered and gave stick, I can't criticise him. He's been very good. He's been efficient. Efficient's a word I've been using a lot because it's something Celtic have been so far from the last kind of year and a bit, but it's something that seems to be coming back. I thought Callum McGregor, apart from one really poor pass, had a good game, kind of controlling the midfield and dictating the play once again. I thought Welsh and Starfelt were fine. I thought Joe Hart's kicking does need improved. There's no two way about that, but when push came to shove, he had 2 saves to make and he makes them very well. Greg Taylor had an excellent game. He's another one that I continually have a go at, but I thought his assist for Turnbull was superb, and I thought he played really well, so I was happy for him defensively and going forward. Tom Rogic, a player that I didn't think we would see much from, again played his part. He still seems to have that bit about himself on the half turn. He can go, which is great. Christie again, passing was really good, determination, pressing, excellent. I could generally just sit and go through them all, but the one person you need to give all the credit to is Ange Postecoglou. I mean, that guy deserves massive credit. I mean, it's quite incredible how united the support teams are in this guy. And it was only 2 months ago we were saying, oh, who the fuck's this? Why are we going for him? And everybody's having a go at him. And now it seems to be the players are definitely buying into his ideas really quickly, which is great. They're obviously playing for him. So, I mean, you look at when Montgomery comes on and he just continues the same way, getting into the midfield the same way, and it seems as though they're very well drilled. They know exactly what they're doing, and they understand the manager's philosophy. We do have a clear style of play. It is very gung-ho, but against most teams in Scotland, that'll probably work. But it's been a big week for Celtic. I mean, there was real fears that Rangers were just about guaranteed this league and they were going to get 80 million in Champions League money, and they ballsed it up, which is a blow for them. You don't know if they'll need to sell players. I'm no an expert in their finances. I know a lot of people are, but I don't really know. But you would think, I mean, it's been the case for us over the years. You balls the Champions League, somebody's got to make up for it. So if they lose one of their big players, it could hinder their squad. So at the moment, in the momentum's with us for the first time in a long while, and I think I've tweeted this out, and I just keep saying it in my head, and It's very cliche, but it's just one game at a time. Just keep winning games of football. It's so simple. We should win on Sunday against Hearts. Then we've got a very tough tie against AZ Alkmaar. I don't know if that game's going to come just a wee bit too soon, that tie, but it should be a good test for us, and it will give us a good indication of where the squad's at. But a tough tie, without a doubt. But one we should be looking forward to. If we can get into the Europa League, it would be a great achievement. If not, we'd still be in the Conference League, which is still European football, and still a kind of good form of income for the club. But of course, we don't want to play in that. But we'll see how it goes. But hopefully, again, still just slow getting the signings in, which is a major criticism. Need a new right back, I think, and a new left back and another centre half. There's still areas for improvement, and I think that's what you want. You want two capable players in kind of each position. I don't know what happened with Abada. I don't know if he was just rested. It didn't seem to make much a difference. But no, I mean, you look at the last 3 games. We've scored 13 goals, and we've soundly beaten, I think, the third best team in the Czech Republic. And last year we massively struggled against the team for the Czech Republic. So no, I mean, I'm happy. I'm not getting carried away, but I think it's good. It's great. It's great to see the fans happy again. It's great to see the podcast having good conversations opposed to just sack Lennon, sack the board, sack Lennon, I hate Lowell. You know, that's fucking boring. So it's good to be watching good football and actually be right behind a manager who seems to get it and seems to just be going about it. And he's very cool himself, where he's saying, yeah, good, but we need more reinforcements. He keeps kind of pressing on that. I was gutted to miss again tonight. Obviously, I'm still kind of isolating in Derry, unfortunately. But my dad was at the game. He sent me a video of them doing the huddle. I think he said something like, "Get it up, you big isolating fanny," which was charming. But no, I'm glad for guys like Dan, obviously, my dad, and fucking everybody else to get back into the stadium. We spoke about it to death, how important it is for the mental health. This is your life. It's brilliant. Nothing beats celebrating a goal at Celtic Park, or celebrating a save, or one of the moments where a good tackle goes in, everybody's gone bananas, or they're doing the huddle, whatever it may be. I mean, this is the moments you treasure for the rest of your life, and it was taken away from us for such a long period. And long may it continue. I hope it's a full house on Sunday as well, and we just kick on and just hopefully we keep improving. But I think you can see Postecoglou's clearly got a vision, which is superb, and I just want us to keep going. Hopefully get Christie to sign a new deal. If no bids come in for Edward, get him to sign a new deal, put it to him, say, look, this is why we want to sign a new deal, this is the vision for the club, we know it wasn't great last season, do you want to be a part of it, etc, etc. So we've went for everybody's shite to Christie's back in form, Rogic is in form, Taylor's been good, Ralston's improved, we've got a better goalkeeper, we've got Kyogo who's really good, Abada, Turnbull's hitting form, so, and then Sorrell comes on and McGregor's hitting form. So, you know, it's such swings and roundabouts. So it's just about kind of keeping the momentum going. And it's all about having the fans on side is massive as well. I said this the last episode, announce Christie a new deal ASAP. That's another big momentum switcher. Announce an Edward contract would probably be a momentum switcher. Bring in a right back, bring in a left back, blah, blah, blah. I'm probably going on and on here, but it's good to go on a rant. I'm ranting about positives opposed to fucking garbage. So no, there's a lot to be optimistic about. I think the team will obviously be very calm now. I think the fans are probably, some people are getting ahead of themselves, but no, I mean, we've got a massive couple of weeks ahead. AZ Alkmaar might be a step too far, and then Rangers at Ibrox will no doubt be a tough test. But all we can do is, in the meantime, beat Hearts and St Mirren in between, and then the 3 big games, go and compete, play our football, and give ourselves the best chance of getting the results.
I agree with a lot of what you said there, Tony. I think it would be remiss of us not to mention what happened at Ibrox on Tuesday night, and whether you like it or no, whether you want to concentrate on just Celtic or whether you're a Celtic dad that follows their every move, but you can't get away from the fact that's a massive result for Celtic, them not getting into the Champions League. And as you say, you know, this season's winners get right in, so that, as you say, could be 40 odd million twice, it could be 80 million going there, and we couldn't do a thing about it if we'd lost the league. So it's a massive shot. I mean, you can just sense the momentum starting to go the other way now. Start of the season, you know, we're away to Midtjylland, and going out when we really shouldn't have, and then getting beat out of Hearts and they're hammering Livingston, and it's, it's going to be, 2 in a row, and Postecoglou will not see Christmas, and, not even 2 weeks later, they've lost 3 games in a row, we've won 3 games in a row, and we look, and we've gradually improved. I know we won 6-0 on Saturday, and as I say, I thought the final ball was a wee bit lacking tonight, but you can see certain players improving by each game. The team are starting to click. Joe Hart get his saves in the night as well. It was just, the night was really pleasing in so many aspects. You're not always going to win 6-0, so to put a team away 3-0, there were a couple of scary moments. The defence, if they're going to play the way Ange wants them to play, they're going to give up chances like that, try to play out for the back. The crowd just need to trust the players that they'll get better at it, and they'll play, the passing will become more competent, they'll get out more often than they don't, and attacks will start to flow. But as you say, Tony, you can't get too ahead of yourself. That team still needs major surgery. It still needs, for me, it needs 3 key signings. I think it needs a right back, a midfielder, and I think another striker, because I think Edward will go. I'm going to ask you, Dan, because Tony mentioned that a couple of times about an Edward contract. Is Tony the only person that wants Celtic to keep Edward now? I feel as if the boat's sailed away for Edward.
I don't know. It's obviously, I think there's less an appetite from it for it from fans, like in recent weeks. But I think that would all change with a couple of goals. I know. I thought he was really unlucky with his wee lift of the keeper that Forrest eventually put in. I thought he looked good when he came on, and I don't know. I think it would be crazy if it wasn't celebrated if he did get a new contract, whether that be a 1-year extension, 2-year extension, I don't know. But it would just be a sort of message. Like, as Tony said, I think it would be a great message to supporters to say, like, if it was either Edward or Christie, for them to just basically turn and say, no, I'm believing in this manager and what this manager's trying to do, and I want to be part of it. It's sort of just like it would just. I think it would just get another massive boost to the fans and to the team in general, and you can't really underestimate that. I mean, given how poor the sort of morale was about the team last season, and you had like post-match interviews, and remember Callum McGregor, I think it was after Slavia Prague at home, just basically he looked stunned when he was doing the post-match press conference, and like was just saying that they didn't know what they were doing and that. So I think you can't really underestimate how much an effect it would have to benefit a team, because I think we're coming in a really tricky period the next few weeks. Of obviously Hearts on Sunday, which is a bit of a banana skin, like they've obviously beat us already. I think we need to then like treat that game. It reminds me sort of when we lost the Invincible run at Hearts, and then we played them at Celtic Park in the January, early February, I think it was, and we just absolutely blew them away. I think we need to sort of have that intensity on Sunday. Obviously, as we've spoken about, we've got the Alkmaar game coming up, and I don't know, it's a real test, and it's a massive test. And I look at what goes in Celtic's favour, the fact we'll have played 7 competitive games, and Alkmaar will have played 1, but at the same time they finished 3rd in the Dutch league, so they're obviously a bit of a decent outfit. And we're sort of getting carried away. Obviously they've lost 3 games in a row, and we've won 3, so that's why we're all confident, and the other side of the city's not so confident. But if they then go and win their next 3 and we lose, say, twice to Alkmaar, and we've obviously got the Hearts game, which, as I said, is a bit of banana skin to mirroring in the league, like we could be roles reversed again. I think a lot of people's really positive about Celtic now, and that's fantastic. But you need to, I think we need to sort of rein it in and just, as we said earlier in the episode, just take it one game at a time, because the foot could very much be on the shoe could very much be on the other foot in a few weeks coming up to Ibrox. I think it's just vital that we keep a sort of lid on it now and don't get too carried away.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that it's too easy innit, to get carried away and think, look, we've scored 13 goals in 3 games. Well, it could take us 13 goals to score 13 games to score 3 goals if anything for last season was to be carried on. But Tony, you brought him up. I don't want to keep harping back to last season and the previous manager, but in the last 2 games, Tom Rogic has looked every bit of the player he was under Ronnie Dyler, under Brendan Rodgers. Is it just a case that he's back in form, or is it quite simply that he's playing under a manager that knows what to do?
Well, it's not just Rogic. I mean, I mean, I've no time to talk about Lennon. But fuck me, I guess. Well, Christie, McGregor, Rogic, Greg Taylor, Stephen Welsh. That's 5 off the top of my head to start. They're all playing better than they did last season under Lennon. There's probably somebody else in there. Turnbull started to play as good as he did, I suppose. So it's not just a case that it's one player that Lennon couldn't get a tune. It was a whole team. I think Postecoglou clearly knows what to do with Rogic. He's worked with him at Australia. Now, if you'd asked any of us 6 weeks ago, Tom Rogic, punt or keep, he would have said punt. He wouldn't have thought about it. But now, I think he's looked good. I think he draws fouls. I think he can draw players out of position. I think some of his touches at times are superb. So I think it's the same way, like Stuart Armstrong was utterly garbage under Ronnie Dyer. It was hopeless. Brendan Rodgers came in. He was one of the best players of the Invincibles. So I think the manager and the style and the management is great. I don't know who it was. I seen a tweet that quoted one of the players saying about how Postecoglou takes training every day and it makes a difference. That seems like a bit of a dig at Lennon, because apparently he didn't take the training. But I think there's clear differences in styles of play. There wasn't many games last season that I enjoyed. Watching Celtic was a bit of a chore. Doing the podcast was a chore. But now you're kind of looking forward to seeing Celtic, and I'm looking forward to talking to you after it. I'm enjoying debating the good things, and can James McCarthy break into this team? We don't know. But who does he replace? And is it Abada or Forrest? Is it Eddie or Kyogo? And it's all kind of positive, as opposed to just garbage and just the club being really run so poorly. So there's still a lot of room for improvement with Celtic, which excites me, but do I trust the board to get it 100% right? No, really. But there's work to be done. But no, I think you look at Rogic. Last season, completely ineffective. This season, he scored a goal. He's looked apart in the last 2 games. But it's all about consistency. Consistency is key. We're just at the start of August. This wee period doesn't really mean much if we don't go on to win the league or win one of the cups or both the cups or progress in Europe, whatever. So it's early days, but the signs are there. And I just hope people continue to buy into the manager's philosophy. And the fans have bought into Ange. There's no two ways about it. The fans are right behind him, and I mean, I really like him. I don't know, there's just something about the guy where I'm happy he's a manager of the team. And that's something that I wasn't able to say for a long time. So I am happy that Ange Postecoglou is the Celtic manager.
See, just when you said that there, Tony, about Stephen Welsh, he looks so comfortable in possession now. When the ball came to him last year, it looked, any of the back 3 or 4 whoever played last year, they seemed to get rushed out and they all look panicked, but Welsh just looks so comfortable in possession now, and I think he's another one that is kind of quietly making himself not undroppable, but in the current state of this squad, he's certainly him and Starfelt should be first choice, but he just looks so comfortable in possession. He looks more confident. He had a lovely wee kind of drag back flick thing he done to get out a bit of a jam. And he just looks more assured in possession. I think he's definitely bought in to Ange. I don't think there's a player there that hasn't. I seen Edward getting a bit of stick, and I was kind of kidding on, but saying Tony's the only one that wants my style. I actually fancied Edward to score the night, just because there were a crowd at Celtic Park, and when he get put through, I mean, I've seen people say the wee chap just proves that his heart's not in it, but he's done that for the 4 or 5 years, 4 years that he's been here. He's done that anyway, so I don't know what folk expect for Edward, but if we look ahead to Sunday, the big games just keep coming. Hearts, as Dan said, a chance for revenge after 10 days ago, or 12, however long it was, 12 days ago now. So, big chance to right that wrong. Celtic Park again, be full, crowd will be right up for it. Hearts is usually a game, home or away, fans look forward to. So, Darren, do you think, how do you think he'll line up? Do you think he'll make any changes with Alkmaar in mind? Do you think they'll try and stick, because it is still a pretty threadbare squad at the minute?
I don't think there'll be too many changes. I don't know, I was thinking about this. I don't know, he spoke about Abada sort of pulling up in training, but then says it was maybe David giving him a rest because he's been pretty much just flung in since he got here. But I think he could look at it 2 ways. He could use it as a chance to give guys like Joe Hart and Callum McGregor and the likes a bit of a rest, because they've been pretty much playing, especially like Joe Hart coming in and basically been thrown on a plane to the Czech Republic and playing 3 games in 7 days. Like, I don't know if you would maybe change a keeper. I know it sort of goes against everything that's went. Everybody's just so happy that we had a keeper making saves, but I don't know, because I'd like to think McCarthy would play. Also, I know Sorrell come off the bench tonight, but I wouldn't be against him getting back in the team. You guys obviously on the bench who haven't played as much, like Urigidi and Bolingoli perhaps. I wouldn't be against seeing them come in either, because I don't know. It's not even the Alkmaar game is like I'm happy, and I'd like to think we could get into the Europa League group stages, but as was mentioned earlier, like you're sort of like, even if it is the Europa League conference, then you're still going to be playing European football, and that's really all that matters. But I just worry about the players playing too much, especially because I think there's a rumour going about that the game's going to get moved to the Wednesday just because Rangers are playing at home on the Thursday as well.
That's confirmed.
7:45 next Wednesday at home, confirmed.
All right. Oh, there you go. Breaking news on this for me. So that makes my decision even easier. I would bring guys like McCarthy and Bolingoli and Urigidi and the likes in and play. I'd probably just play Edouard and Ajeti. Like, they both come off a bench tonight. Maybe you can try and tinker the formation a bit to play the two of them up front, or push Edouard out left. I don't know. But at the only thing that sort of, like, as I've said a few times, it's a bit of a banana skin. But at the same time, I'm desperate for Ange to get his hands on some silverware. I think the League Cup's been an important trophy for a few Celtic managers, just because it is the first chance to win a trophy. Like, it's one of the ones, the finals back in December now, so it would just be sort of perfect to round off a good sort of half of the season if you can get to December and win that. So I'd like us to take it seriously enough to go and actually just go and win it and take a trophy back, because obviously we lost all three that we'd carried for 4 years. But no, Danny, I'd like to see changes, but at the same time I don't want to go too far and put the first competition domestic that we're in at risk on Sunday.
Tony, I think you're like me. I think you want to play strongest team and just finish Hearts in the first half.
100%. I would go with the same team as the night and hopefully try and have the game done for half time. Then you can make your changes. You should be able to compete in every competition this season. That includes the League Cup. The League Cup's the early trophy. Gets won around early December. I would love to win it. The Rangers will probably be in the next round because they've got the Fairland. You don't want to, again, it's all about momentum. I don't want us to play a poor side and Hearts take the lead, then we're needing to reshuffle of it and bring players on. Go with your strongest team. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind if he mixed it up slightly and maybe Sorrell started for McGregor, and I don't know. I don't think he'll do that. I think he'll play the captain, but he could make slight adjustments, but I wouldn't be making wholesale changes because...
Tony, can I just get your opinion? See you're saying that a little bit. Time you get to the Alkmaar game, that'll be the 5th game in 13 days for them. So surely if you're going to rest, this would be the time to do it.
But the players should be able to cope with that. That is your schedule. That's not going to get any easier, because we're going to be playing Thursday, Sunday, and then there'll be cup games in between. So the players are going to need to cope with that. I mean, I think they look fit, and I think playing more games hopefully just improve the fitness even further. But we could definitely make changes. I mean, Edouard could start, Abada could come back in. As I say, Sorrell could come in, Beaton could start, sort of stuff like that. But I just don't want to let the momentum drop. I just want to make sure we beat Hearts. So I would be with Danny. I would maybe go with the strongest team we can for 45, and then switch it up a bit, because you don't want any injuries getting into the Alkmaar game, which is a huge game that we need to try and win. So, but I take your point. You don't want to have players exhausted, but I wouldn't be bringing in guys like Bolingoli and stuff like that. I wouldn't be changing it too much.
I think we need to keep sight of the fact that our biggest game culminates at the end of the month, and it is important that the players don't burn out before then, because I think there's an international break after that, so some of them will get a rest. But I don't know, I just think we're in such a good bit of form, good momentum. I think it would be kind of cheap to throw it away by making 7 or 8 changes, because I don't think the depth in the squad is there yet. I'd like to see McCarthy come in. I'd like to see, I'd probably drop Rogic for him, and I think Rogic has played well, but I think he looked done in after about 45 minutes tonight. But let's see what McCarthy's got. He could maybe rest Kyogo, because I think that Jablonec started to target him tonight, and he'll be needed for Alkmaar next week. He's a game changer, that boy. He's a match winner, and just love it. I love his endeavour. I think the way he chases the ball down, he never lets anything go. Quite unlucky to get a booking tonight, but he probably just about deserved it. But all came down to his hard work. And it's just a joy. In fact, it's a pleasure to watch him buzz about. I thought it was really unlucky. He was onside when that goal got chopped off. It was a great finish. But maybe start Edward. I really wanted a Yeti to score tonight when he came on, because it's the first time he's probably played at a proper Celtic Park crowd. And another one that, a switch could be flicked if something just good was to happen for him in front of the crowd. But you never know. It looks like he looks like he's got to stay. There's been no talk of him leaving, so he might find himself second choice striker in a couple of days. Don't know if the two of you seen it, but there was rumours that the boy from Man City, Jan Couto, was there at the game tonight as a guest of the club, maybe suggesting that the right back search is coming to an end. But we'll need to wait and see how that goes. Ange said last week it was going to be 2 signings this week, and now it looks like it's going to be next week. So we've only got 19 days before the transfer window slams shut. So need to get, as I say, I take Tony's point earlier. I don't think the board will get it 100% right this window, but they certainly need another at least 3 for me before, and they'll never get it perfect, because remember last window and they're like, what a window this is. It's like Duffy and Barkas and Maxwell. And like, oh god, have Celtic ever got a transfer window this right before? Fucking 6 weeks later it was all fucked. But so I don't think they can get it perfect, but they need to give us a squad capable of getting to January, and then you add the finishing touches plus preparation for, well, there'll no need to be preparation for the Champions League qualifiers, will they, if they win the league? So that's a big incentive to go in January and spend. But we'll wrap it up because it's getting late and some ways I've got work in the morning. Tony, I'll come to the final point, starting with you. A prediction for Sunday?
I think he'll play his best team, and I think we'll win 3-0 again. Kyogo to get 2, and Callum McGregor to get a goal for me.
Dan, you get any advance on that?
I think we'll win 3-1. I think there'll be 4 or 5 changes, and I think it will be an Odsonne Edouard inspired victory. I think he'll get on a score sheet twice on Sunday.
I think he'll make 3 changes, and I think he'll bring in Abada, Edouard and McCarthy, and I think Celtic will win 2-0. I think it'll be quite tense, it'll be quite nervy. Hearts are pretty tough to beat, pretty stuffy, but I can see Andy Halliday getting cheered off the park, and I think Abada will score the both of them. I really like the look of that boy. But we'll be back hopefully on Sunday night, we'll definitely be back on Sunday night after the game. I look back at the Hearts game, and I look forward to Wednesday's game against Alkmaar. Darren, seeing as you were at Celtic Park tonight, I'll leave the last word to you on this one.
Aye, thanks very much for everyone that's listened. We do appreciate it. We will be launching a crowdfunder, because as many as you at Celtic Park would have seen, the pod Tim that's missing tonight, Andy, was the one that ran on the pitch, so he'll be needing some bail money, so I keep an eye out for that. Aye, thanks for listening.
You're better than Eddie Howe to me. All the history, you know it. You're saying Furu Haji. Here we go, one in a row.